Welcome to the first installment of Rosey's Rants. It's basically 3 hits with Rosie, but I get to rant if I want to. Now, it's a little early in the season for ranting and raving. We're 3 games in. Let's relax. We started off hot. We were building statues as usual with a hot start. But lo and behold, we have dropped a game to a team that is far and away beneath this roster at the current moment. And it has happened multiple times throughout the seasons. It's beginning to almost be predictable when the Leafs have a hot week and they show up against I don't want to say bottom feeder team. I realize Chicago is not what they were last year as far as bottom of the barrel. They've got some reasons to be a little bit more excited. But again, they're dropping games and dropping points to teams that they simply shouldn't be. I understand it's an 82-game season. I understand every team drops games to teams they probably shouldn't, and the league is a very close, tight league. I'm the one that always says any team can beat any team on any given night in this league, but the Leafs just continually go out of their way to prove that. Was this the worst game I've ever seen? Not even close. They had their chances. They couldn't finish. They could say they got goalied a little bit. The only stat that stood out to me is they got out-hit quite substantially, and we know that you go into the playoffs, you better have a little bit of jam. You got to be throwing the body around. If you get out-hit in the playoffs, it's not a good look for you, and they got out-hit tonight. Other than that, the stats weren't horrendous, but you got to bury your chances, you guys. You're so full of firepower, so full of offense. I'm not going to act like I know exactly how that's done, but you got to bury your chances, especially against lower-level teams. You can't keep dropping them, because when you have those big games, those huge wins against division rivals, against lifelong rivals, you come back 2 goals against down to the Montreal Canadiens or whatever the case may be, and you have those monster wins that mean so much to a team throughout the season, you just give them right back away when you drop games to these lower level teams. You just give them back away. The Leafs are far too good to come in and be nonchalant and not have their stuff and lose points to these types of teams. It's a pattern that they've been famous for. I'd like to think this identity on this new team is a lot different than the one from previous years. But as long as they keep doing things like this, it's going to be hard to guarantee that this character in that locker room is different. The month of October is not their bag. Playing against bottom feeder teams is not their bag. It's unacceptable for a top tier team. They should expect more from themselves. I hope they learn from it. They got to find that character that they showed through the first 2 games and start applying that every single night.